Well, hello there, friends. Another fantastic dish today. Everybody's been asking me to cook with reasonable prices. Meaning, you didn't want to spend too much money because things are tough right now. Food is so expensive. Everything is expensive, right? But let me tell you something. I got a good one for you today. Pork Scallopini Milanese. You're going to say, pork Scallopini Milanese? You normally make it with chicken, you make it with veal, you make it with saltfish, you make it with everything, but with pork? Let me tell you, the secret is in the brining, my friends. This pork Scallopini Milanese that I just made is as juicy, as delicious as if you made it with veal at $25 a pound. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. You're gonna love it. Like I said, the secret is in the brining. I'm gonna show you how to do it. And it's really, really beautiful. I hope you make it. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to ring the bell. I'm glad you're here. Stay tuned. We're doing it right now, friends. Okay, friends, well, a lot of you are asking me to do recipe on a budget. Good budget. I got 6 boneless. Jack took 2 already. 6 boneless pork loin. We're going to make them the Milanese way, so I have to pound them. And you know, pork is very dry, is very squeaky. Sometimes you like squeaky. You know, when it's so dry, it's quick. And I know it's not a culinary term, but you have to forgive me. Anyway, we're going to brine them. And that's going to introduce moisture. It's going to make them really, really nice. All right? So I got 2 tablespoons of salt. Use a kosher salt for that. And 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And I got about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. Then I'm going to smash. If you don't smash them, you might as well not bother. In 2 hours in the marinade, you're not going to do anything. So you smash them. Not that it's going to give a lot of flavor, but it's certainly not going to hurt them, right? A little garlic in there. And then we're going to put some water. And we're going to let the salt and the sugar melt. And then I'm going to show you what I do with the chops. Really simple, my friends. Really, really simple. But I tell you what, it takes a pork chop in a whole different level. It really does. You know, we like a chicken Milanese. I made it before. Veal Milanese. A saltfish Milanese. I make a saltfish Milanese. I don't know if I did it on the channel. I think I did, right, on the channel. It's fabulous. Saltfish Milanese. I'll tell you what, if you can get fresh saltfish, it's amazing. You can make any fish, really. It's really a simple process. We're going to let that melt. Melts. We're going to let that, yeah, I guess it is. It's melting. And I'm going to show you what I do. I'm just going to do one and show you the process. I'm going to take this out of the way because I'm going to put the film in the front of it in a minute. So what I like to do is, so let me just do one, okay? So then I don't repeat myself 4 times and bore you to death. You can leave the fat on if you want on it. I myself do not care for it. So you know what? I want to be able to eat everything. You want to leave the fat on? Don't worry about it. Leave it on. Right? And we're going to leave it right there. I really don't care for it. So now what do we do? Well, you could pound it right on there, but it's not the right way to pound things. So here's what we're going to do. Let me put it back on the plate for a second. Let me show you what I do, okay, friends? I like to, first of all, clean my cutting board, because clean my knife. So I always have my sanitized water in the sink, water and vinegar, or sometimes, depends what I do, I put just a little bit of bleach, very little, don't worry about it, I'm not going to kill anybody. It's very little. And so do whatever you want, but you got to have a sanitized water all the time. So what I like to do, friends, I like to take the film, the plastic wrap. I got this dispenser in one of those restaurant sites. I think it was a web restaurant. I use it a lot, so it's practical for me to do it. And but at home, you use whatever you like. And then what we'll do, we'll pull the film, pull quite a bit of it, And I left my cutting board slightly wet. You'll see why in a second. Let me take this out of the way. Because when you leave it wet, it sticks to it. You see, it's a little trick. Okay? So now we're going to take a chop. The chop that I did, maybe I use the tongue to grab it so I don't have to wash my hand every 5 seconds. And you could do certainly 2 at a time. And same way I do the chicken and everything. And then I take my film and I close it right there. And I'm just going to pound it very gently. Very gently. You want to pound it thin because the whole idea of the Milanese. You see? And voila, that's it. That's all you do, my friends. You see, look. Right? Make sure it's even everywhere. Make sure it's even everywhere. And then we're going to take them. Because as you cook it, they're going to plump up a little bit again. So you want to pound them really nice. Right? And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them. Voila. I'm going to put them in my marinated for about 2 hours because they're very thin. 2 hours will be sufficient. All right? So, my friend, I'm going to continue doing this. And I'll see you in 2 hours. 2 hours. In 2 hours, and we'll come back and I'll show you how I prepare them. So, I'll see you in a minute. Okay. So 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Make sure you really, really dry them super good, my friends. Super, super good, okay? Because you don't want any moisture on there. And so I really, really, really dry them super, super, super good. You see? I dry them a couple times, and then a couple times after that, and then a couple times after that. Because we're going to go in the flour. And if we got water in there, if we all moisture, then the flour, that's going to make a paste. And that's the last thing we want. Okay, so remember, you can do that with chicken, with fish, with veal, with all kind of goodies. All right, my friends, so now what we're going to do, we are going to, go in a flour, egg, and panko, Parmesan Reggiano, a mixture. So I take panko, regular panko, and I put it in a food processor with Parmesan Reggiano. And you don't have to put that if you don't want to. But it makes it even a little better. And you can put a little parsley in there also, a little of the Provence if you want it. You can make it fancy, you know. You can have fun with it. When I make the chicken Milanese, Jack is going to give you a link. You'll see I make the breadcrumb from scratch. So salt and pepper on there, and then we'll mix it up a little bit. And we have a tongue. Then we're going to keep for the flour, and we have a tongue. Then we keep for the egg, yeah? So we work clean. Otherwise, I see the people of Mamma Mia on the internet, how they do it. It's like, ay. So you got to try to keep your hands clean the best you can, my friends. And I'm only going to do 2 now because it's just redundant. I don't need to bore you with redoing the same thing full time, my friends. So let's put it here for now. And so we're going to go in there. This is the same practical technique that everybody uses all the time here, friends. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it on the board. Is that okay over there for the camera? Yeah, you guys are good over there? They're going to check because I don't want to. I changed on the last minute. And all right, so we got the salt and pepper. Let's take it out of there. So I have a clean work area. So I like to, when I put the flour in there, my friends, I like to make sure, while we're putting the flour, I know I tell you all the time because for those of you that have watched the channel so many times, you know, but there's so many new people, they may not know why you're putting flour. Because you want this surface to be very, very dry. Because if it's not very dry, the eggs are not going to stick. And if the egg don't stick, then the breadcrumb is not going to stick. Okay, so look, see? Nice and clean. And we're going to keep our hand clean. Otherwise, you got the hands that are so messy, it's difficult to do a nice job with a breading. Okay, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn the oil on. And I'm going to use my garlic olive oil, which we're going to use later on to make a nice vinaigrette. I was going to get something and I forgot what it is. But I'll find out in a minute what it is. So yes, I like to keep my hands clean when I do that. You'll see every so often, you'll find an area where the egg is not going to be on there nice. And if the egg is not on there nice, see, like right there. See right there, the egg is not on there. You get in there. And if it's not in there nice, then the breadcrumb is not going to stick very nice. So look, let the excess come out. You see right there, my friend? That is the excess. They go, yeah, we can see. But if you don't, then the excess is going to come out. And with the excess, what is going to come out? The breadcrumb. It's pretty simple. You know how many times, I love this dish. Look over there. You see right there? The egg didn't stay on that one right there. It's because of the tongue. I love this dish. You know, when I go to a restaurant and I see a fancy menu and nothing strikes me, I go with the, I keep the tongue right here. He's got egg in there, and I'll be careful. Anyway, I'm rambling on. And I see chicken Milanese or something Milanese, you know, they can't mess that up. But they do. They do. The other day I'm going to this restaurant, I'm not going to say what it is. And they get a chicken Milanese, and the breadcrumb is not sticking. It's because the chicken was all wet. Of course the breadcrumb is not going to stick. And you know, I hate it when I go to a restaurant and they deep fry it. The chicken Milanese or a veal Milanese, whatever you're ordering. The oil temperature, 365. Okay, so now, Jean-Pierre, quit talking. I want the clean tongue and then all of a sudden, okay, now look, the trick here, friends. The trick is not to touch it until it's coated. You see? See, look. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, look, see? That's what I'm talking about right there, my friend. Now you can touch it. You see? You see, now you can touch it. And now it's beautiful, and look at my hand. Next time you see somebody doing it and they got messy hand, you send them to me. You tell them, come and check the way we're supposed to do. It's supposed to be clean, so then it's even coating. Not complicated. Nothing we do is complicated. It's just, I hate to work dirty. I like it nice and clean. All right, so now I could take this. You know, I'm just going to relax. Sometimes I want to do too much in the video, and then I rush, and then we don't enjoy the process. So let's check for the oil to be 365, and when it is, we're going to put it in there. Now, I like a nice golden crust. How about you? If you go in a coil oil, that's another thing. A breadcrumb is going to suck it up, and it's going to get all soggy. We want it to be 365. If you don't have one of those, you'll know when the oil is starting to shimmer, it's starting to move a little bit. You see it. That's when the oil is 365. You don't want to be putting any water in it like some people tell you. Take a little piece of bread, you put it in there. You'll see. All right, so now look. Now we're going to go and we're going to make sure when we put it in, friends, we put it away from us, not toward us. See, like right now, look. Away from me. All right, so now let's put it in there. Let's put it in there. Let's do the same thing again. Okay, remember, let the excess off. Let the excess off. Put it in there and you fix it. There's a little bit of egg, then you get in there. You get in there. I like it to be perfect. Okay, look, see how simple it is? You go like this. Move it around. Then you keep your hands nice and clean. And you're going to say, well, what does it matter? I got my hands clean. I can wash them. Yeah, you can wash them. But you're never going to have a beautiful, perfect scallopini the way I'm showing you how to do it. I promise you, you're not going to be like perfect. You see? Now, why do we want to be perfect? Why not? It's better to be perfect. Here we go. Away from you. I got to keep that because I'm going to do it with the other one. All right, so now one more thing. When we flip it around, friends, when we flip it around, we have to be careful not to mess up the crust. We want it to be nice and golden brown. And then we're going to use a spatula. Otherwise, we're going to remove that breadcrumb. Then we so diligently put on there. You would think after 50 years I would learn how to speak English better, but it is what it is. Oh, look at this, look at this. See what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. You see, my friend? All right, now we're looking good, right? And now what we're gonna do, my friends, I got the oven going on at 375. Oven going at 375. We're gonna cook it in there, maybe, by the way, you notice they were very thin. Oh, I forgot, Jack was telling me I call it a marinade. It's not a marinade, it's a brine. At the beginning, I said I'm gonna marinate, and I'm marinating, I'm not marinating, and I'm brining it. Thank goodness Jack was here to correct me. Sometimes I forget what I'm saying. He's always there to correct me, that's for sure. So friends, I'm going to continue doing this, turn into 2, and then I'm going to pop them in the oven. Oh yeah, what I was telling you is, you remember when I did them, they were like about a quarter of an inch, and now you see the way they're plumping up? Plumping. I don't know if that's the word, but see, they're beautiful on both sides, friends, okay? Be careful, I want that breadcrumb to stay on there. I gotta be careful when I take it. Look how beautiful that is. You see? I'm just gonna do two for now because I wanna get going and show you what we're doing. And by the way, the oil, my friend, don't ever throw the oil in the sink after you're done doing it. Eh? Yeah, you know what I do? Every time I have a can of tomato, I save it in a freezer. And I pour this hot oil and I put it in the freezer. When it's full, I put it in the garbage. Okay? But make sure you don't put it in the sink. It's like cholesterol for your plumbing. Your plumbing is going to have a heart attack. All right, I'm going to clean all this up, finish the other 2, and then I'll come back, and I'm going to show you how we're going to serve it with a salad and everything. We're just going to put lemon juice on it. It's very simple. That's the way I like to eat it. And if you want to make a lemon sauce, we can talk about that later. But I'll come back in a minute. Okay, friends. We got 4 of them ready to go. Now, do you really need to put them in the oven? You know, if they're very nice and thin, and you make them beautiful golden brown on both sides, you don't need to. Yeah, they probably are 145, 155 internal temperature. That's all you need. Overcook it. Pork and it's dry. We don't want to overcook it. So 145 to 155, however you like it. If it's that temperature, go ahead. If not, you make them in advance. Last minute, pop them in the oven for a few minutes. Long enough for you to make a little vinaigrette. We're going to serve them the way I had them at the restaurant the other day and the way I like to eat it, with a little arugula salad on top. Very simple, my friends. We're going to make a little vinaigrette, simple. We're going to put some fresh lemon juice, lemon vinaigrette. Very, very simple. Eh? Take a lemon. You usually need a lemon to make a lemon vinaigrette. Little lemon juice. Keep the lemon in here. You see? Those lemon squeezes are kind of cool. And we're going to put some Sicilian lemon balsamic vinegar. If you don't have a Sicilian lemon balsamic vinegar, use a good white wine vinegar, white balsamic vinegar. Use a red wine vinegar. Use whatever you want. I'm using the garlic oil because we had it all alone. And this vinaigrette, I'm not going to make it emulsified. Not very emulsified. And what that means is we don't want it to make it creamy because arugula, if it is a very flimsy green. And if you put a heavy vinaigrette on it, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Your green salad is going to be all wilted. See? So what you could do, you could save a little bit. You can use that as a sauce. Or you take your green right there, a little arugula, little chopped tomatoes, 2 or 3 chopped tomatoes, little bit of red onion. No big deal. See, just a little salad like this. Make a nice. Put a little bit of black pepper in there. It's supposed to have some in there. Oh yeah, it does. A little bit of black pepper in there. Voila, let me move it out of the way so it's not in the camera. Little bit of salt. And my friends, we have ourselves a beautiful little salad that you can put right on top. Right on top. This is the way we're going to do it. We're going to put a lemon juice underneath. Put it right on top. I'll show you. I'll show you, my friend. And like I said, if you like a dry pork, then cook it at 180 degrees like everybody tells you to do. By the way, you know, if you go to the FDA website, it tells you 145 is a perfect temperature for pork. Not like the old days, you know, years ago you used to have to cook it for 100 years at 180 degrees. It was dry. It was, no matter what you did to it. But today, we don't need to do that. I promise you, my friends. Whew. See, we're going to take one because I don't need more than one. This is by the way, I don't know if I told you that, friends, but this I actually had 6 chops in a package. It was $11 and something. So pork is still a very, very, very good. So it's an inexpensive meal. And when the last time you had pork chop and looked so pretty? No big deal, right? You saw what I did. Remember, I don't do anything complicated. If it's complicated, I'm not doing it. Complicated, we let the other chef do it. There's a lot of very good chefs out there. They do complicated stuff. I don't. Look, little lemon juice on it. That's all you need, my friends. You want to make a fancy lemon sauce? No problem. I got a few of them on the channel. You can do that, but you don't need to. Right there, my friends. You got yourself a meal. Then it's so simple. You can serve some potatoes if you want in it, but it's not necessary. Just like this, right here. Stop, Jean-Pierre, while you're ahead. I say that, and you watch. I'm going to put another one. This really simple dish, right there. We're going to take a fork. I'm trying to make an expensive dish for everybody because everybody's asking. And look how simple it is. And I'm telling you, with the lemon, I love it with the plain lemon juice. Like I say, you want to make a fancy sauce? You go ahead and make a fancy sauce. It's not necessary. You see, by the way, that's why I like to remove the fat. Let me tell you, I can't show you. Oh, can I? Let me see. Let me see if I can cut it in half. You can't really see. But let me tell you, my friend, this tastes so amazing. It melts in your mouth. I'm telling you, it's the brining. This is as good as a piece of veal. I know it's a big statement, right? Veal is $20 a pound, $30 a pound. And who wants to eat veal anyway? Chicken, this is as good as any chicken Milanese you've ever had, and it's so simple to make, and it only costs $11 for 6 servings. My friends, I hope you make it. It's delicious. I'm liking it. I hope you make it. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And please don't forget to ring that bell. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm glad I remind them to ring the bell because I always forget. This is delicious. I'm telling you, wait until you have it. You're not going to believe it. For a pork chop, it melts in my mouth because of the brining. What a success. Delicious. You're going to love this one.